On World News Tonight this Tuesday, the limits of American influence. Can Bill Clinton really make a difference to Middle East peace? Does a U.S.-made agreement in Kosovo bring the peace any closer? Millions of Americans rushing to the internet for medical advice, and drugs too. How good an idea is this? We'll take a closer look. And why would the government spend millions of dollars to move a highway? It's your money.
From ABC News World Headquarters in New York, this is World News Tonight with Peter Jennings.
Good evening. We're going to begin tonight with two big investments of American time and money. Tonight, in two of the world's most dangerous places, the Middle East and the former Yugoslavia, millions of people want to know whether the Clinton administration is going to make their lives better and safer. The first test involves the Israelis, the Palestinians, and Mr. Clinton. Here's ABC's Sam Donaldson.
Once again, President Clinton traveled to the Y Plantation Conference Center on Maryland's Eastern Shore to supervise the Mideast negotiations. And today he called in some help. King Hussein of Jordan, ill with cancer and in this country recuperating from chemotherapy, was invited by the president to come to Y to lend his good offices. Hussein has been able to deal with both sides effectively in the past. The president met separately with Israeli Prime Minister Netanyahu and Palestinian leader Arafat. At dinner last night, the principals had met face-to-face and made some progress. Enough so that today, State Department spokesman Jamie Rubin was able to say,
"We're, I think, past the atmospherics and down to hard bargaining."
The core of the bargaining is over the security arrangement, worked out with the help of the U.S. Central Intelligence Agency. Israeli Prime Minister Netanyahu and his hawkish Foreign Minister Ariel Sharon say the security timetable for dismantling terrorist organizations isn't specific enough, bringing the charge from Palestinian leader Arafat that the Israelis really are just looking for an excuse to walk out without a deal. Still, aides at the Y Center this evening are drafting the language of a comprehensive agreement on almost all the issues, including security. And how much longer before it is either accepted or not?
This cannot go on indefinitely, but we're taking it one day at a time.
In fact, the negotiations will almost certainly continue tomorrow, with a wrap-up session, after which, if there is an agreement, there'll be a signing ceremony here at the White House, although that could happen on Thursday. Whether the agreement is truly substantive remains to be seen, but it's hard to see, Peter, how the sides can't come up with something that they can at least call progress, and the president will quickly be able to claim success.
We shall see. Many thanks. Sam Donaldson at the White House. Now to American influence in Kosovo. It is a week now since the U.S. and NATO pressured the Serbian leader Slobodan Milosevic to end the Serb violence against the ethnic Albanians there. Today, the Pentagon said we have not seen full compliance or anything close to it. ABC's Sheila McVicker is in Kosovo tonight.
This is what the first American and European monitors are seeing as they drive throughout Kosovo. Past miles of destroyed and empty villages, Serb police checkpoints, where traffic is stopped and identity papers checked. On hilltops, fortified Serb positions, and sometimes Serb armored vehicles, dozens of tanks and heavy weapons dug in and camouflaged. These certainly look like violations of the agreement. The problem is the agreement itself is so short on specifics, Western monitors cannot say what is a violation and what is not.
This is going to have to be worked out on a case-by-case basis.
With officials still trying to sort out just what the deal means, the bottom line is that ethnic Albanian refugees are supposed to feel safe enough to go home and stay home. But that is not happening either. The Serb police are just up there, this man says, and they have a new checkpoint down there. And for the last several nights, the Serbs have shelled these villages. So while people have been coming home in the morning, every night people leave the village and go back to the mountains.
I was really disappointed to come back after the agreement was signed. I expected to see an improvement.
The agreement has done virtually nothing to change the Serb position, that they have the right to deploy their forces as they see fit. Sheila McVicker, ABC News, Kosovo.
When we come back, the other news, Paula Jones fights for another chance to be heard in court, and Microsoft says it was tough but legal.
This is World News Tonight with Peter Jennings. Brought to you by Lockheed Martin.
Someday, jet aeroplanes will be invisible to radar waves.
Imagine man-made moons helping us to communicate.
Tomorrow, electronic highways in the sky will guide air travelers to their destination.
Year after year, Lockheed Martin takes the most amazing ideas about the future and makes them fly.
What you eating, little brother? Chicken and stars. There's a better tasting soup. Progresso chicken noodle, all white meat chicken, bigger veggies. See the difference?
Good stuff.
Told ya. Nice shirt.
Discover the better taste of Progresso.
You didn't dial 10-10-321?
I admit it, Oscar. Sometimes I forget.
I told you dial 10-10-321 to save money. 50% when you talk over 20 minutes.
I know, I saw my phone bill, and those 10-10-321 calls were much cheaper.
And it's so easy.
I know.
So from now on, you'll always dial 10-10-321 first, right?
Oh, yeah. I learned my lesson.
Pretty good advice, huh? Maybe I should be the trainer. Who doesn't want to save 50%?
In St. Paul, Minnesota today, lawyers for Paula Jones tried to convince a panel of judges that her sexual harassment suit against President Clinton should be reinstated. The case that spawned the Monica Lewinsky investigation was thrown out of court last April. Here's ABC's Jackie Judd.
I'm not going to answer any questions.
Lawyers for the president and for Paula Jones entered the courthouse frustrated that weeks of settlement talks had gone nowhere. Inside, the new argument that Jones's lawyer, James Fisher, made was the case should be reinstated because Mr. Clinton, quote, split hairs, dodged questions, flat out lied when he testified last January about his relationship with Monica Lewinsky.
This court needs to send a clear message that will be heard all the way in the District of Columbia that our civil justice system will not tolerate nor countenance perjury, obstruction of justice, or subordination of perjury.
One of Mr. Clinton's lawyers, Amy Sabrin, argued the Lewinsky matter was irrelevant to the sexual harassment case, that the lower court was right in throwing out the lawsuit because Jones never proved she was harmed by Mr. Clinton.
There were no explicit threats of reprisal, and there were no reprisals.
The judges may take weeks, maybe even months, to rule on whether to reinstate the case. Peter?
Jackie, the last time we left this, all the talk was about a financial settlement. What happened?
Right. Well, they were pretty close, somewhere in the neighborhood of $700,000 to $1 million. Then Paula Jones heard from an advisor that once the lawyers got their cuts, she wouldn't be left with much. The lawyers started hiring lawyers to protect their own financial stake. Enter Abe Hirschfeld, a New York developer who said he would put $1 million of his own money into the pot. The Joneses liked that. They wanted his money as well as the president's, and that's when the meaningful negotiations stopped.
And not likely to happen now.
Not in the near future, but maybe down the road.
Thank you, Jackie. Jackie Judd on the Paula Jones case today. Now to Microsoft in Washington today. Microsoft had its turn to answer charges leveled by the Justice Department yesterday. Today, the Microsoft lawyers argued that they were aggressive competitors, but not out to crush the competition. ABC's Terry Moran's following the trial in federal court. Take it from there, Terry.
Well, Peter, yesterday the government told a story about Microsoft's thuggish behavior. Today, Microsoft responded with a legal argument denying that behavior and saying that the judge should remember that the antitrust laws aren't a code of civility in business to make sure that capitalists are nice to each other, that Microsoft competes fairly by adding new features into its products, and that that's what this case is about. And they also pointed out that Netscape hasn't been damaged. It continues to ship millions and millions of internet browsers, and if that's the case, then Microsoft should win.
Yesterday, the Justice Department went pretty directly for Microsoft CEO Bill Gates. Today, Microsoft went pretty directly for Netscape's CEO.
That's right. He was the first witness on the stand, Netscape CEO James Barksdale, who was challenged by Microsoft's lawyer on his contacts with the Department of Justice. Joel Klein, the Assistant Attorney General, breakfasted at James Barksdale's home several years ago. It's what you might call the sore loser defense. Microsoft says that Netscape couldn't win in the marketplace and so ran to Uncle Sam.
To be continued. Many thanks, Terry Moran. When we come back, medical advice and medicine online. We'll take a closer look.
Pain keeping you awake? Now the effervescent power of new Alka-Seltzer PM gives you complete relief. Alka-Seltzer Speed plus a gentle sleep aid. The 100% solution to nighttime pain. New Alka-Seltzer PM. Sleep well.
Some people call it retirement planning. I think of this as future construction. Year by year, block by block, until...
It's our dream house.
Beautiful. But I was hoping we could afford to travel.
This plan can help make it happen. We can even make sure you've got worry-free income for life.
AXA, dynamic vision, equitable, a trusted resource. Call us. Equitable is a member of the global AXA Group.
It's no mystery why millions of people have moved to the digital home entertainment of DirecTV. Because DirecTV gives them more movies, sports, and a variety of programming they just can't get from cable. So what are you looking at? If it's not DirecTV, see your retailer for a demo today.
There is an athlete amongst us, disguised as a mother and a neighbor. And when most of us are still sleeping, she's running. She also takes the vitamins, minerals, antioxidants, and folic acid in Women's Ultra Mega Multivitamins made by General Nutrition Centers. Tomorrow, she'll get up and run some more. Women's Ultra Mega Multivitamins made exclusively by GNC. Live strong. Live well.
Enterprise rent a car for my trip?
Looks expensive. It's not expensive, Mom.
They pick us up? Sounds expensive.
Pickup's free, Mom.
Well, if it's not expensive, why didn't I get a convertible?
Pick Enterprise. We'll pick you up.
Tonight we're going to take another look at the expanding role of the internet in so many people's lives. You hear it all the time now, people saying to one another, looking for medical information? Try the internet. 2 surveys we have seen referred to say that nearly 40% of the people who use the internet are seeking medical information. In fact, there is so much advice out there and so many products now out there that the Journal of the American Medical Association has dedicated this week's issue to it. Our intention tonight is to take a closer look at how reliable it all is. So first, here's ABC's John McKenzie.
The internet can be a treasure chest of medical news. Want to know about heart disease, or breast cancer, or depression? It once took days rummaging through a library to find what you can now pull up in a matter of seconds. But some of this information may be downright unreliable.
Anybody with 1995 can have a website. They can put anything they want on it. So you can't take the things you find on the web at face value.
A novice who's just come there, who doesn't really know much about medicine, health, or the internet, can really get bushwhacked badly.
The Journal of the American Medical Association suggests 4 basic criteria in evaluating any health news you get online. Who are the authors? Where do they work? What are their credentials? Is the information current? And who owns the website? In other words, who stands to profit?
Go with a trusted name brand. You can trust the National Institutes of Health, the Centers for Disease Control, you can trust the American Medical Association, and you can trust the New England Journal of Medicine, among others.
But some websites from established institutions still seem to use language geared more to doctors than patients. And some may not give you all you want on alternative medicine and medical controversies.
Using the internet for health news appears to be a learning process both for those presenting the information and those at home trying to sort out what's of true value. John McKenzie, ABC News, New York.
So if, as they say, a little information can be a dangerous thing, here's another way the internet is playing into our lives. For many people, the internet is a way to bypass the conventional drugstore. Here's ABC's Gina Smith.
It's the drugstore for the wired generation, where you can be your own doctor, write your own prescriptions. It's fast, it's convenient, it can also be deadly.
It could be worse. There are side effects that won't kill you, but could leave you so severely disabled or with lifelong handicaps that you might wish that you'd been dead instead.
Look online and you'll find dozens of pharmacies operating all over the world, and all of them are willing to sell drugs to any American with a credit card.
We had no trouble finding sites on the internet ready to sell us prescription drugs. In just the space of a few minutes, we were able to buy Viagra, Prozac, even the prescription tranquilizer Xanax. These sites seemed a lot more interested in our credit history than in our medical history. The Xanax and Prozac were just keystrokes away at a website half a world away in Thailand.
It's very hard for us to identify them or to influence what they do.
Buying prescription drugs through the mail isn't necessarily illegal. You may need a doctor's note to buy them in America, but there are lots of countries where you don't.
I was extremely shocked. A lot of the products that are available on these internet sites are controlled drugs, meaning that they are either opiate derivatives or narcotics.
Medical officials also worry about inadequate prescribing instructions and how drugs get to their destination. Temperature and moisture can dramatically affect a drug's potency and quality. The Xanax we ordered showed up in the mail protected only by a thin plastic bag. The postmark read Thailand, but was the drug made there? There's no return address. We know where the Viagra we ordered came from. This pharmacy in San Antonio, Texas. Its website wouldn't sell us the drug without a 4-question consultation with its online doctor.
They're not illegal. They're bona fide prescriptions with bona fide doctor-patient relationships.
The law says to prescribe, doctors must have a relationship or a consultation during the usual course of his professional practice. The FDA says people who buy drugs on the internet are gambling with their health.
They may even be gambling with their life.
And until the U.S. government finds a way to regulate online drug sales, there's little anyone can do about it. Gina Smith, ABC News, New York.
So it's fascinating how much there is out there. It's just a little bit scary. Just before we leave, time for one comment from our medical editor, Tim Johnson. Tim, I know when you looked at these today, you were a little shocked yourself.
I was stunned at how easy it is to buy these prescription drugs. It strikes me as pharmacological Russian roulette. Even the interaction with the doctor is so superficial, you have no idea if the drug is right for you or your medical problems, and you have no idea if it's being produced safely or shipped safely. It's a high-risk situation, and I can't imagine that World Health authorities aren't going to try to crack down on it.
So your conventional advice is talk to your doctor if you can, right?
Absolutely, and for sure don't buy the drugs over the internet. Information is one thing, but something you're going to put in your body is quite another matter.
Thanks very much. Tim Johnson, our medical editor. When we come back this evening, Donald Trump is in the news again, and it's about your money.
Hi, Pumpkin. It's late. You should be asleep.
Mommy said that I could stay up until you got home. What you eating?
Cheerios.
For dinner?
They taste just as good at night. And remember I told you they were good for my cholesterol?
Oh, yeah.
An important new study shows that 3 cups of Cheerios whole grain oats a day added to a low-fat diet can help push your cholesterol down.
You know what else is good for my heart? A hug from you.
The AIM Investor Pop Quiz. The first step to smarter investing is hoarding every penny, cutting up all your credit cards, seeing a financial consultant. Peace of mind comes from investing with discipline. AIM Mutual Funds.
What do I want? I want to know I'm headed in the right direction. I want to keep my options open. I do want to take care of my family. I want to give something back. I want to learn, find what's right for me, be ready for anything, make the right choices. I want to find the people who can get me there.
American Express Financial Advisors can help you decide what you want to do and how to get there.
I want to say I made a difference. I want to do more.
Buy a set of 4 selected Goodyear tires before November 28th and get a $50 or $100 U.S. savings bond. For the retailer nearest you, call 1-800-GOODYEAR.
For the 14 million women who worry about light to moderate bladder control, now there's new Double Protection Compose Panty and Pad system. The Compose Panty and Pad fit together for double protection. There's a super absorbent disposable pad, but the real difference is the separate washable panty. It gives you double protection with a quilted panel that won't let wetness through. So why worry? Get double protection with Double Protection Compose. Protection that goes beyond the pad.
The AIM Investor Pop Quiz. The road to retirement should be paved with lottery tickets, pork belly futures, lots of vacations. Have peace of mind. Call your financial consultant about AIM Mutual Funds.
In Washington today, the House of Representatives was having a final look at the $500 billion spending bill that it's been negotiating with the White House. Takes a big effort for anyone to monitor it all. We're actually still finding things in the highway bill passed some months ago. ABC's John Martin found the latest right here on the western edge of Manhattan.
This is the West Side Highway. You just paid $80 million to repair it. But guess what? You may soon have to spend $200 million more to move it underground. Why? Just so Donald Trump, one of the country's wealthiest developers, can complete one of the biggest New York real estate deals of all time.
It's abominable that we should be spending a nickel of taxpayers' money to move a highway for Mr. Trump's benefit.
It's more than a nickel. It will cost $6 million just to figure out the best way to bury the roadway.
Once that study is completed, 18 high-rise apartment buildings will go up here. In fact, the first 2 are already up.
Trump insists the project is a boon to the city because he is giving land for a park that will cover the highway right in front of his buildings.
From a money standpoint, it's not even a good deal for me. It's a park that should be built because it's good for the people of New York.
But isn't it a great deal for Donald Trump? You enhance the property that you're putting up there.
I enhance the property, and I pay a big price to enhance the property.
Well, not exactly. Opponent Batya Luton says an obscure federal law just may allow Trump to get a subsidy to build the park.
When you give assistance to poor people, we call it welfare. So this is welfare for the rich.
All told, public assistance for Trump Place will be at least $200 million, not even counting the park. It's your money. John Martin, ABC News, New York.
Elsewhere on the money tonight, for the 5th month in a row, the Asian economic crisis has reduced demand for U.S. exports substantially, and therefore the trade deficit was a record $16.8 billion in August, 15% higher than in July. Some third-quarter earnings to report today, better than expected for some. 2 banks included, Chase Manhattan and Wells Fargo. IBM and Microsoft did well as well. The Dow Jones Industrials gained more than 39 points to close at 85.05. On the NASDAQ market, stocks were down more than 9 points. Question, who should manage the stock portfolio in your house? A study of clients at one large brokerage house has found that women are more successful investors than men. It isn't that women do a better job of picking stocks, but they tend to stick with their choices. Men are more prone to buying and selling, which costs money in trading fees. In China, they're trying to stop a novel kind of highway robbery. Those peasants are stealing coal from moving trains. You can say they use bamboo poles to pull coal off as the open cars roll by. And then they sell the coal for a discount to the factories where it was originally headed. When we come back, a long, productive, and happy life, the way they live on a Japanese island.
This Halloween he's coming with something they never expected.
Cookies!
Simply roll out Pillsbury sugar cookies, cut, bake, then create your own deliciously spooky cookies.
When you qualify for benefits with Transamerica Long-Term Care Insurance, you can make yourself at home. Because you can still live at home. The people in the pyramid working for you.
Hey, I got a letter back from Quaker. I wrote and told them that Quaker toasted oatmeal ought to be called Quaker tasty oatmeal.
It's oatmeal, it's toasted. To me, that says tasty.
Well, then they should call it that.
You need a hobby.
Quaker toasted oatmeal. It's your other oatmeal.
You see a business deal. At Sprint, we see data. Data that lays the groundwork, that allows people to collaborate. It's the sharing of information that helps build business. And with Sprint Ion, our integrated on-demand network, we'll soon be linked together with even greater ease, flexibility, and power. Because business runs on data, and data runs on Sprint.
Presenting my lovely wife, Linda!
At Transamerica, we have insurance products and investments for all kinds of families, no matter how much risk you're willing to take. The people in the pyramid working for you.
The past 6 years won't ever compare
I love you, Bobby.
to the next 5 weeks.
Police! Drive! Don't move the car! Go!
It's time for Blue. Viewer discretion advised. The season premiere ABC tonight after Sports Night.
Finally from us this evening, hard work, good friends, and a drink. The way they live. Last night we saw how well the people of Crete in Greece were living. Tonight we go to a small village on the Japanese island of Oshima. It is not a place where they think of retiring at 65. ABC's Mark Litke has been checking it out.
Sheltered by the calm waters of Japan's inland sea, time has been kind to Oshima Island and to the village of Towa. People here celebrate the changing of the seasons well into their 70s, their 80s, and beyond. With half the population above the age of 65, this is the oldest and arguably the healthiest community in all of Japan. So what is the secret of this island, this village? Is it the climate, the food, the lifestyle? Actually, people here say it's no secret at all. At 75, Chuichi Yamamoto still works almost every day of the year as a commercial fisherman, and his wife, a youthful 71, still prepares every meal. Fish, fresh vegetables, steamed rice, just the way they've always eaten. Chuichi even drinks a half bottle a day of sake, Japan's traditional rice wine. They are perfect examples of what the Japanese call genki, meaning happy and healthy. They credit their diet, low fat, high in fiber and calcium, and the fact that they stay active. Health professionals couldn't agree more. Many elderly in Towa still work in the fields, the Haras, for example, aged 90 and 88. Or there's 80-year-old Tsurue Inakawa who does volunteer work, making box lunches for those who can't care for themselves. Yes, people here eventually do become too old or too weak, yet the aging process clearly slows down on this island with so little stress. Those who've moved here from other places have even seen their medical bills drop by an average of 15%. But there's still something more. At the Buddhist temple in Towa, the head monk says there's a powerful sense of community and belonging here, a quality that eases the fear of growing old and adds to everyone's well-being.
People here lead simple, contented lives. This is truly a unique and special place.
But not so unique, he says, that it can't be duplicated elsewhere. Mark Litke, ABC News, Oshima Island, Japan.
It was nice to see the Yamamotos laughing there. Tomorrow, what has so many people in India laughing? The latest stress reduction therapy. That is our report on World News Tonight. Later on Nightline this evening, the potential anarchy from the year 2000 computer bug. I'm Peter Jennings. Have a good evening. See you tomorrow. Good night.
Tomorrow, you've always heard that laughter is the best medicine. Now, from the land of yoga and meditation, there may be real proof. The Way They Live on World News Tonight with Peter Jennings. This has been a presentation of ABC News. More Americans get their news from ABC News than from any other source. ABC News, now